Today, we're trying something different on Escape from Tarkov. And that is the AA-12. This is a weapon that I have not actually used yet. It's been in the game for a little bit of time. And of course, this is the essentially automatic shotgun. We all know it from Modern Warfare 2. But is it actually any good in the game? What is it all about? I have no idea. Let's actually jump in, take a look, and then jump into some raids. So you can't do a lot to the AA-12. It's primarily just how it comes. You do have two different variants of the essentially main body. You can either have a tan variant or a black variant. I mean, nothing interesting there, but you do get a variety of barrels. They will come with different bonuses. You know, you can get better ergo if you use a shorter one. You can get, you know, you will get the drift. But the main thing that we're running is the 20 rounder. This is absolutely terrible for ergo or basically anything with the weapon. So, you know, not the greatest in that department. However, what we might be able to do is test it out with both. I'm running this and then a 2 8-round mag, which we can use on the AA-12. And then you essentially we're running the 4 17mm barrel, which allows us to have the choke, which gives us slightly better ergo and stuff like that, over using some of the other ones. Now, yes, you can min-max this as much as you want, but I mean, I just wanted the essentially the best recoil and stuff like that. The longer one will give you better ergo and accuracy. However, the problem is it gives you worse recoil. So I have no idea whether this is actually going to be the best build for the AA-12 just yet. So without further ado, let's just jump into a raid. We are running with essentially AP-20, and we are also running, I believe, if we unload it, a full round of 50 BMG. So let's see whether or not that actually works. It's got super high damage, not the greatest of penetration, but hopefully we can just blast away everyone's arms and they're going to be walking around like nuggets. So let's jump in to the first raid, which we're going to test out on factory. Hopefully we can get to Gilla and see whether or not we can take him out. Just going for leg meta with the AA-12 should be pretty fun. Hopefully don't get one tapped in the back of the head or something. But we have got the CQCM on the head to avoid frontal face taps, at least hopefully. Now, you can get this weapon through a barter. However, you can also get it in marked rooms. That's how I got it. I haven't actually unlocked the barter for the AA-12, but you can do it if you want to. You can search it online. I'll leave a link in the description as to what tasks you actually have to complete in order to get the AA-12, but so far I haven't bothered to do it because we've got most of the tasks that I actually wanted to do done. But let's actually jump in to this raid and see what we can actually do. Is it any good, or are we going to get taken out? You know, this might be a very short cut. And of course we have spawned in probably one of the worst places in the game on factory. And when you're not hearing a lot, just chuck a nade. Now, Tagilla can be behind this little box, so we'll see. Fair enough. I don't think he was. Okay. We just two-shot that guy. I think it was just a scav. Yeah. Well, there we go. Only you have to land like 2 different hits. Let's see if this guy's got a marked room key. Always check scavs, not only because it will get your search skill up, but also the fact that you can get marked keys and also just general keys off of scavs. They're usually in the pockets or in the backpack. So yeah, other than that, not a huge amount of success with that one. Okay. Little camping scav. I've not heard any PMCs in this. This has to be the most dead factory raid I think I've ever been in. This is just the one-tap machine. There we go, another one-tap. So there is a little bit of sway, but nothing too major. Guess we can just loot up all of these and then get out of here. So it looks like if you hit them in the thorax, it's just a one tap, like genuinely. Obviously if you hit them in the head, it's also a one tap. But that's because we're running 50 BMG, and also we're running the 20 slugs as well. So, you know, they act as actual rounds as opposed to like buckshot, piranha, flechette. Because the flechette in the 12x70 is not actually that good. Like the penetration of the others is not that great, so you might as well just absolutely spam with the 50 BMGs because you got 197 damage. So if you hit them in the thorax, it's just game over. So we might as well jump into reserve and go see if we can find ourselves Glukar in here. Hopefully he doesn't spawn in the underground because that's just pain. So we're gonna go and have a look, see if we can find him. I think the good combination with the AA12 would be running not only it on its own, but kind of running it as a close quarters weapon, and then having, like, you know, an AR that has decent long range capability was probably the way to actually go. AA12 just seems to be super good at close range, like literally one tapping basically everything, including PMCs. Obviously if it hit like the upper thorax in between like the plates and the helmet and stuff like that, obviously if you hit the head, or you can simply use the full auto and just go for the legs, like it is going to blow them away within like half a P. So I think that is definitely a very good way of doing it anyway. So we got a decent spawn. Do we hit up the RBBK? I think we do. Marked room key, in we come. You wouldn't hit me with a marked room. What am I saying? Not a marked room, a key card. Come on. No. Okay. Well, we did get a pro kill and a chainlet. Just what I wanted. That is absolutely diabolical. Desert Eagle. Nothing spectacular at all, which is always good. You know, the typical marked room luck. It seems like the reserve marked rooms, to be honest with you, are like diabolical. The only one I've actually had luck with is RBVO. These ones just seem to just spawn a ton of weapon. I mean, look at this. There's one M60. We've got ourselves an RD, an MK17, an MP7, P90, P90, a Scar, another RD, another Desert Eagle. And so, yeah, it just seems like they're just spamming out weapons in here, which is not terrible, but I mean, you can't take all of these. Like, there's literally no way of actually taking them all. So, I don't know about marked rooms on reserve. I mean, if you can basically equal the costs out by the loot that you do grab out of them, occasionally get a key card out of them, maybe, then yeah, maybe they're actually worth opening. So I'm still going to open them. I mean, I've got 1.3 billion rubles at this point. It's not like we're ever going to have a problem with money, etc. But if you are trying to make money, I'm not entirely sure that those are going to be the way to go. Either way, I'm pretty sure that Glukar is down by, what's it called? White Knight, I think? Or Black Bishop? I can't remember the name. Over by the garages anyway. So we are going to make our way over there. We'll get a little bit of view range just outside, clear up any scavs with the M700. And then we can make our way down because obviously you don't want to get aggroed by a load of things that are sat outside of it. So we can just do this. Have a quick look. Oh, maybe he's actually outside. I wonder. There's no way we got him, right? No. Oh, we might have got one. Oh my word. I really want to go in, but it's just too far, and they've already aggroed me, so it's not really ideal. That's one down. Okay, I actually think that this is Glukar, you know. I think that that might have been him. That's another one down. Oh, we actually have no ammo left. I forgot to restock. So we are going to have to actually go down. Let's go see what we can do with our trusty friend. Okay, another one down. Well, time to reload. It was definitely the guards. It was definitely Glukar. I think we sniped him, though. Unless we got him, he was the one actually running towards us across the way. We'll go check and loot. Let's just make sure we got full ammo first, though. Just grab up one of these. Oh yeah, this is definitely a guard. Resupplied our grenades as well. Put my little stomach back on. I wouldn't want to get hit in that by a little scout shotgun or something. I think this is the main man himself. Oh no, definitely a guard. Come on, come on. So that's definitely a scav. I don't need them. 856A1. That was just a scav. And there's Glukar himself, the main man. He wouldn't have a keycard on him. He did not. We will take the M80 rounds because we can drop those into our sniper for the next run. And you always want to check out the guards because they can have some pretty decent stuff actually on them as well, by the way. Not that one though. Oh, another guard that we haven't looted. There's another scav approaching, I think. And there we go. Didn't actually check what plates this is. Level 4. It's pretty crap. Right, cool. a pretty successful raid, to be honest. And the AA-12 definitely came in clutch towards the end, especially against all of those guards that were pushing. You can kind of see, like, the slugs, although they might not always pen, if you can just hit them in the thorax, just the blunt damage is so high because it does like 197 damage per one. It's pretty darn good. And I mean, with Gluhar at, what, 100% spawn rate at the moment? It's a pretty easy way because the interactions between you and Gluhar typically are like quite close quarters, like compared to some of the other bosses. Things like Sturman, for example. It's not going to be the one. We can go in here. Come on, please, a Bitcoin. No. So I'm very impressed with how the AA-12 is actually doing. This might be my like go-to secondary, to be honest, for just generally taking out people. I think it does really well. Like if you run this as like a secondary weapon that you just use when you get into close quarters stuff. Like with the slugs, especially if you're getting like hoarded, like Interchange is a map I could see this being like so useful on. We've actually got lucky with the loot as well. I mean, Intel folder, SES drives, etc. Now we could go back, we could go down into D2, but I'm not too interested. I think we'll just we'll get out of this raid, let you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and yeah, this actually blew me away. Like, I genuinely wasn't sure if this was going to be like a good, or whether it was going to be like a meme. But it actually turns out this thing is really good. You can get it in marked rooms, obviously RBBK, RBPKPM, RBVO, any of like the marked rooms that you can think of, you can get this in, especially on reserve. They typically have lots of weapons, you saw when we opened it up. But there you go. It looks like we killed Gluhar with a headshot with the M700s and a few of the guards. But then when we got in close, you could see we took out a load of things with the AA-12. We got one with a headshot as well. So yeah, you can kind of expect that this thing is going to be really good. You can see we took out something in the leg. You know, you only have to shoot it like twice in the leg. And most of the AAs are like thorax shots, so just instantly just one tapping things in the thorax with those slugs. It just seems to be very good. I can't really fault it. I don't think it's, I mean, it doesn't have the best accuracy at range, etc. So it's not going to be like the most competitive or anything like that at range. But close range, I think it's very difficult to beat this thing when you are in like full auto mode. And you're, for example, like in dorms, on customs, there's going to be very few weapons that are going to be able to output the amount of damage. And provided that you do at least have one of these that has 20 rounds, you essentially, like, I wasn't sure if it was just going to blast out those rounds and not be that effective at taking out multiple targets. But to be honest, I don't even know if you need the 20 rounds. Like, a lot of the time, it's just there for comfort. If there's lots of things coming at you, you know, you're going to have that comfort of if you miss a couple shots because they are slugs, you do actually have to land on target. But yeah, overall really good. The only negative I can see so far is the durability seems to run really fast. Because we've only ran 2 raids, we're at 91% durability, so I can see that probably becoming more of an impact with this gun. But yeah, in order to actually pick one up, I'm not entirely sure you can buy them off the flea, so you do have to actually find them in the raid. So yeah, or you can get a barter from Skier. So yeah. I will leave a link to the actual task at which you get the AA-12. But with that being said, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this different style of video from the usual, because we are going to be pushing out some content surrounding a hardcore playthrough, starting from the very beginning. Each episode will have its own theme, so it's not boring. You're not just watching me completely play the game. There will be a ideal thing that we are actually going towards every episode, so you can follow along. You can see the sorts of things that I'm going to have to do, because we're going to have to make money. We're going to have to take out things as well as part of like some extra challenges that go alongside it. So if you enjoy that sort of content, then be sure to subscribe down below. And of course, let me know what you want to see in that series in particular, or just any other video as well. And I will try my best to get that out for you guys. Thank you very much once again, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.